road in Cleveland, Ohio. It's an early afternoon kickoff for the Bills against the Browns. And hi, everyone. Alongside Bills legend Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalon. Matty Glab is down on the sidelines. And it's already been a productive trip for Buffalo. A joint practice on Thursday with the Browns. Joe Brady told us yesterday the starters got 40 meaningful reps, and because of that, we won't see many of them today.
No, I think both teams came out and practiced extremely high level. I think both clubs are very happy with the production they got out of their players. Both teams, as we've seen around the league, they took it right up to the edge of extracurricular violence. They never went over the line, and they stayed right there for the entire 2-hour practice, situation after situation, different game aspects. They practiced all of it, and both teams, I think, were really gratified by not only their successes, but also some of the failures that allowed them to learn from what happened just 2 days ago here in Berea. Both clubs came out of that practice feeling really good about how it went.
Still a lot for the Bills to try and accomplish today. Jim Leonhard, first year as the defensive coordinator in a new scheme for Buffalo.
Well, I think he's going to find out what it's like to sit upstairs. He's been a sideline coach for most of his professional career. Of course, he was a player. He knows what it is to be on the sidelines. He's going to go upstairs today and call the game from up there. This coaching staff still feeling its way through what it will feel and look like on game days for them. But make no mistake, at the end of this game, they're going to make some decisions about the position battles we've been talking about.
And one of those positions to keep an eye on today at linebacker with the rookie Caleb Elam-Zor.
Well, he got plugged in maybe because of injuries, but he stayed because of his production. He has been outstanding and has exceeded expectations.
Kickoff is coming up. It's the Bills and the Browns. Preseason game number 2 coming your way right after this.
Every injury lawyer says that
it is raining. It just started a couple of minutes ago. There are thunderstorms in the area. Could be an issue throughout the course of the afternoon. And someone dealing with that issue right now is our Matty Glab.
Yeah, a little rain not hurting anybody. Good thing the Bills practice on Thursday against Cleveland. Head coach Joe Brady said they got a ton out of that practice. A chance to go up against a different scheme and technique. He said you can learn so much from that. He said he was also looking for the team to play with a different type of personality and energy. Brady made it clear during special teams period, the entire team is going to be on the sideline cheering each other on. You felt that energy as starters cheered on rookies as they made good plays. The offense had a very productive practice led by quarterback Josh Allen. The play of the day came on the second play of a 2-minute drill when Allen threw a beautiful 55-yard touchdown pass to a wide-open Dalton Kincaid. The team left that practice feeling like they grew and got better as a unit.
No doubt about it. There was a lot of positive signs when we spoke with Joe Brady yesterday. This is our booth. It's pouring rain.
It's comfortable over here in Cincinnati, where we're doing the game from. But
we're way in the corner of the end zone. We're not getting wet though.
Yes, no, we are dry
for now.
And it absolutely started raining 60 seconds before Matty went on camera, and now it's starting to rain even harder. Well, we all know that if you've been following this Bills team, they practiced 3 or 4 days at St. John Fisher, and it poured just like this during those practices. So it's not new. It's been the preseason of rainfall for the Buffalo Bills, and it continues here today in Cleveland.
Buffalo won the coin toss. They have elected to receive, so they will get the football first, and Kyle Allen will start at QB for Joe Brady and the Bills.
I know we've talked about a lot in the open, Andrew, but both these clubs, and it was an impressive practice. It was an NFL organized, crisp practice by both these clubs on Thursday.
On the return for Buffalo is Frank Gore Jr., and he's tripped up on the return. So out comes Kyle Allen for the Bills. He did play in the preseason opener last Saturday against Carolina. He was 14 of 16 for 108 yards, leading the Bills to a victory 29-14.
Well, Kyle Allen, and obviously the guys around, it's not just Kyle Allen who's playing. It's none of the offensive line. There's only one Alec Anderson who's a starter who will be in there as well. So these guys have taken reps together. It shouldn't be unfamiliar to them to play with the guys that are actually on the field.
Trent Sherfield goes in motion on first down. And the Bills open up this game on the ground. A nice run by Ray Davis. Cleveland thought they had him to the ground, but Davis is able to run for 9 yards. Time now to take a look at our players to watch. Brought to you by Kaleida Health, the official healthcare provider of the Buffalo Bills. And even though the majority of the starters will not play today, these two guys will, as the battle at left guard continues between Austin Corbett and Alec Anderson.
I said in the open, I think they're going to make some real decisions after this game this week. I think the position battles will be over, and the ones will be the ones, and there won't be any doubt as to who the starters are going to be going forward.
Pass intended for Jackson Hawes, and a penalty marker comes out. Our referee today is Bill Vinovich. Alec Anderson starting for the second consecutive game at left guard.
Defense number 40. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
And a first down given to Buffalo.
Right here is where and that was called early, and actually 2 flags came out immediately.
Talked to Joe Brady yesterday. He said the best player for the Bills at practice on Thursday against Cleveland was Josh Allen, which was interesting to hear him say that. But he also gave a lot of credit to Jackson Hawes. Thought he had a really good practice against the Browns, and reading some of the quotes after, the Bills were very happy with the second-year tight end. Rain continues to fall. Here is Davis trying the left side this time, and upended at the 40-yard line by Michael Coates.
We've had this conversation a lot about, who the best player. Josh Allen's the best player, and it's interesting too that the best players played the best against the Cleveland Browns on Thursday in that practice. Bradley Chubb was also a noteworthy addition by Joe Brady about who played the best, and there's a lot of layers to that. When your best players are playing the best and practicing the hardest, man, it elevates the entire roster.
On 2nd and 6, Allen to the air. Looking down the field, and he's got a man for a first down. Along the sideline, that is Sherfield with the catch.
Oh, Sherfield did a nice job. Allen read it perfectly. It's going to come out. It's going to come open right out in here. Right there. And, yeah, Sherfield came in, ran the hard corner route, perfectly thrown right into the gap between the linebackers and the safety.
And now a stoppage. And it looks like Joe Brady is telling his team to get in the locker room. So we could have...
lightning in the area.
Yep, there it is. We did not even get 2 minutes in, and we have a lightning delay. Rain continues to fall as Joe Brady has his team try to hustle inside.
And now it's not just sprinkling either. It is really hammering this stadium. People are absolutely running for the exits. Yeah, we knew this was going to be a possibility, and we had hoped it, because people in Buffalo know exactly. Sometimes that stuff changes every 15 minutes, but we knew it was going to be a possibility. We thought it would be later in the game, but 2 minutes in here, and it is a torrential downpour.
Attention fans, inclement weather, including lightning, is approaching the area. The game has been delayed. We ask that you please
making the in-stadium announcement as they ask the fans to head to the concourse and seek shelter. So the teams are back in the locker rooms. Early first quarter, a lightning delay in Cleveland. We're back after this. In Cleveland, watching preseason football, which is about to return. Andrew Catalon, Steve Tasker, Matty Glab back with you after approximately a 1 hour lightning delay. We are ready to resume the first quarter, and we pick up right where we left off. Trent Sherfield had an 18-yard catch, so the Bills are driving behind Kyle Allen as the starting QB. Again, most of the Bills starters will not play today, although you do have potentially one out there right now, and Alec Anderson at left guard. That competition with Austin Corbett continues, and Anderson is getting the opening drive here for Buffalo. It has stopped raining. The fans are back in their seats. There are thunderstorms around in Ohio. We hope that we can dodge them and get this game in. And the play clock is running. We're going to have football again. First down and 10 for Buffalo. At the 42-yard line, that's Sherfield in motion. Play action, Allen to the air, over the middle, and it's caught for another first down. Right back to Sherfield. And Steve, I know he's a guy that you've really been impressed with this summer.
Yeah, he's a big, strong athlete. He's a good special teams player as well, which at this level, he's going to have to contribute some way in special teams to get himself a game jersey to get into that top 5 or 6 guys. And Sherfield, who is a big, strong athlete, he's perfect for that if he can find a way to play good enough wide receiver to make himself valuable to the offense. 17-yard pickup, first down and 10. Davis gets by the initial contact, and a nice run by Ray Davis. He had 21 yards rushing and 32 yards receiving in the preseason win against Carolina a week ago. Well, this is just an absolutely outstanding job by Davis. Right in his face. I think Aiden Huntington just busted through the line, and Ray Davis just dropped him off and left him and got the yardage. What a great run by Davis. What awareness. 6-yard gain back to Davis on second down, navigating his way, and then hit hard at the 17-yard line. Yeah, Davis did it. He got about every yard he could get on this next run. It looked like he was going to get stopped for a loss, but he wove his way through, gained about a yard, set up a 3rd and 3. But the offensive linemen couldn't get to the second level. The Bills' run offense early in the practice on Thursday did struggle against this Brown defense, but they got it going a little bit later in the practice. But here in the early going, at least on that run, the Browns were there to string that out and stop it. That's Stephen Gosnell at the bottom of your screen on 3rd down and 3. Allen looking the other way for Davis. Nobody there. Pump fakes. Allen now throws. End zone. Broken up. Multiple flags down. Pass was intended for Jackson Hawes. But we have 2 penalty markers down on the play.
Defense number 11. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball he placed the 1-yard line. Automatic first down. Yeah, it looked like Hawes went down and got fallen on by the corner. It didn't look, he got up. It looked like he felt this going down. His arm got pinned underneath him. Might have fallen. Now he got you can tell this, having a guy drop on you like that. That's why they protect quarterbacks for that exact reason in the pocket. That hurts. Trey Avery called for the penalty. It's pass interference, so they spot the ball at the 1. 1st and goal for Buffalo. Davis remains the running back, takes the handoff. Davis up the middle, and Davis trying to fight for that goal line, and he's not going to get there. Not going to give it to him. Tried to find his way in. This is a little bit what preseason football is all about. It's a physical test. There are no bells and whistles on this play. It's just going to be straight ahead blocking right at the point of attack. The corner comes right in off the edge, makes a good play on the ball. Yeah, that's just big boy football. 2nd and goal. Davis remains the running back. Davis, take 2. And he's pushed back again. Yeah, I might want to challenge this one, Andrew. That looked like he got in. I'd like to see a camera angle of this. It looked like he got right to the line. And we'll see. It's a good camera angle here. He gets that. Maybe not. Maybe not. From this angle, I thought he punched it in. He is right there. They're not gonna challenge it though. I don't think there's an angle for that. That was in traffic. 3rd and goal. Davis is the 3rd time the charm. It is.
Touchdown, Buffalo.
Yeah, this is, there's no, like I said, there's no bells and whistles. They had 3 straight drives, and Ray Davis finally punches it in. You'd think also at some point just the snap count was enough to give him the edge to get that much yardage. They were so close. Browns did a nice job and played tough up front, but so many tries at that, and it ends up Ray Davis just getting across the line at the bottom there.
So an opening drive that took over an hour in real time culminates with a Davis touchdown. And now here's Tyler Bass for the extra point out of the hold of Mitch Wishnowsky, who will hold today for all of the Bass kicks. And Bass's first kick is good. With 9:32 to go in the first, Buffalo takes a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, you're right. It was a long drive, maybe the longest drive I've ever witnessed. It was well done, well executed. I think at the end, they just wanted to make a statement and let those young offensive linemen. I mean, you've got an offensive line made up of Reed Adams, Van Pran Granger, Tylen Grable, Alec Anderson, of course, and Jude Bowery out there. I mean, those 5 guys, they just wanted to see if they could push the defensive line of the Browns around. Pretty good run plays on that drive, and at the end, they just had enough chances to punch it in due to the interference in the end zone.
Well, there will be a lot of intrigue here in Cleveland and around the National Football League for the next person to run out onto the field for the Browns as their quarterback competition continues between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Both are expected to play today. It'll be Sanders who gets the start. First Bass to kick it away. And here is Malachi Corley on the return for Cleveland across the 30, and Corley takes it out to the 35-yard line. Time now to take a look at our players to watch, brought to you by Kaleida Health, the official healthcare provider of the Buffalo Bills. And Steve, both of these young players, Jordan Hancock and Kani Walker, made big plays in the preseason opener.
And they typify exactly what the Bills want to do with this defense. These 2 guys are very versatile athletes, fast, big, strong. They can play a number of positions athletically, although both of them have a spot where they play in the defensive backfield. They roam around, and that's the kind of athletes you want back there, just guys that can make plays. We'll see if they can do it again today.
They both get the start on first down. Sanders' pass complete to Isaiah Bond and shoved out of bounds by the aforementioned Kani Walker.
Walker's play he made last week was really special. He saw a play, diagnosed it very early in the snap as though he had watched a ton of film, which there's no way he could have. But he saw it, attacked it, and came up with the interception late in that game against Carolina. And hence, he's on the field here today trying to repeat that performance.
Almost did not play due to injury and then came up with the INT. 8-yard pickup on first down, and now on second on the ground. It's a first down run. That is Raheem Sanders up the middle to move the chains. Damar Hamlin in on the tackle for Buffalo, who again not expected to play their starters, but a couple of guys out there who could end up starting, including one who just ran out onto the field, and Landon Jackson, who continues to impress.
Landon Jackson is in the running to be a real contributor, maybe start the first snap of the games, but he will be playing, I think, a high percentage of snaps for this Bills defense up front.
First down and 10 for Sanders. Play fake. Sanders moving the pocket. Chased on the play and runs out of bounds. That was good hustle by T.J. Sanders, the second-year lineman out of South Carolina.
That's good ball fake by Shedeur Sanders, and it was well covered by the big guy outside watches. He's going to come from down inside and chase Sanders all the way to the sideline. And that's, as big as they are, that's their job. You've got to run that guy down. If there are some quarterbacks you cannot outrun, and there are some who you can. I don't think on a regular basis Sanders is going to be able to run the other Sanders down, but he had the right angle and did the right thing. That was a good play.
2nd and 8, back on the ground. Sanders up the middle with a bruising run, stood up by T.J. Sanders. So you had Shedeur Sanders handing off to Raheem Sanders, and the tackle made by T.J. Sanders.
I sense a trend I don't know.
The trifecta of Sanders.
We have talked about how these two teams practiced against each other this last Thursday. It was a really sharp practice. I've watched the training camp of the Bills, and I've seen others, and I watched the preseason game. It's easy to see after watching the Browns-Bills practice on Thursday why teams are leaning into the joint practices. It was really productive.
3rd down and 3. It's a pitch to Sanders, trying the outside, hit hard and stuffed. That was Kenai Walker making the initial contact, and then his teammates picked him up, stopping Sanders short of a 1st down.
Bills struggled a little bit here to get to the edge. They needed to get somebody through here. He is trying to get out there. He got caught up with Damar Hamlin trying to get out there. They finally did get there. Kenai Walker made the tackle and the stop.
And Cleveland will keep its offense on the field for 4th down and 2. Sun now starting to peek through the clouds here in Ohio. See if the Bills can get a 4th down stop. Shedeur Sanders, plenty of time. Now fires, and he's got a 1st down. Into the open field goes Blake Whiteheart, and Shedeur Sanders had all day to make that 4th down completion.
Yeah, Geno Stone got caught in trail coverage. Come right here is Geno Stone. He's going to catch it. He's got to switch off on the zone, and he just is 1 or 2 steps late in recognizing it and can't get back outside as the tight end's got the momentum coming across the field. Stone had to stop and start again, and that's why they got the separation.
An 18-yard gain, 1st down and 10 for the Browns. Sanders, and he cannot escape TJ Parker, who had a sack a week ago against the Carolina Panthers. A nice tackle there by the 2nd-round pick out of Clemson.
And the Bills and Browns both freely substituting and rotating defensive and offensive players on and off the field. It's a nice job right there. Parker comes in. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. Guard the backside and then close down once the ball is declared where it's going.
Pickup of 3 on the play. 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Sanders sets up the screen. Some room to run and another 1st down. That time it was Amani Marshall moving the sticks for Cleveland, and Fedarian Mathis on the tackle for Buffalo.
These guys inside pop right out. That's the center coming all the way out to block on the screen, getting in interference with Marshall. Nice job by the Browns to set up that screen. The Bills, the pass rush hasn't been really that effective in this early going of the game, but the Browns throwing the screen pass just the same.
Sanders up the middle, again lowering his shoulder, and a nice run by Raheem Sanders, the 2nd-year running back out of South Carolina.
Browns doing a nice job getting to the 2nd level against this 3-4 lineman, and Sanders just hammering his way down.
Geno Stone, Damar Hamlin combine on the tackle as the Browns have the ball at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, this Raheem Sanders, 6 foot 230.
And they are riding him, but this time he's tripped up, and a great play by Landon Jackson, taking down Sanders for a loss.
Well, he's had a good training camp, and we've talked a lot of conversation about how he has transformed his body and put on weight. He just absolutely pushed the right tackle off of him.
He's added about 20 pounds in the offseason, and he said last year he felt like he could only do finesse moves. Now he's a lot more confident with the extra weight and the power he has, and we saw him there crash through the line of scrimmage for a loss on the play. It's now 3rd down and 7. Sanders again with time, throwing end zone wide open, touchdown. Luke Flourier with the touchdown for Cleveland. So an opening drive touchdown engineered by Shedeur Sanders.
He's going to end up right back here, and you'll see Sanders just hanging in there, no pressure, and had plenty of time to sort through all the coverage looks and just put it right on him. That was an easy throw, particularly with that much time and that much space. It wasn't so much about the time. I mean, he had no pressure at all in the pocket.
Here's former Syracuse kicker Andre Schmidt on for the extra point, and it is good with 2:56 to go in the opening quarter. After a touchdown by the Bills, the Browns have answered, and we are tied at 7.
Going to be as combative in practice as it is in a game. You can get things like kickoff, you can get things like punt, those kinds of phases. So we've taken advantage of the walkthrough time because of the tempo that it requires.
That's Bills' new special teams coach, Jeff Rodgers, in his first year with Buffalo after the past 8 with Arizona, as he watches McCole Hardman on the return here for Buffalo, dancing his way across the 30 and stretching out to the 37. Rodgers, the subject of our coaching profile, brought to you by Treasure Cave, the official cheese of the Buffalo Bills. And Steve, it's a unit that's near and dear to your heart. What have you noticed from Jeff Rodgers this summer?
He's a serious dude. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm interested to find out how many core guys Joe Brady's going to give him. It's usually the number of guys, the last receiver, the last DB, the last linebacker, the last tight end goes to the special teams core, and however many guys those guys are and how good they are at special teams really sets the tone. It'll be interesting to see how this season develops. They haven't changed the rules too much on special teams this year. It's the first time in a while they haven't.
Allen to Hawes and hit hard right away by Donovan McMillan. Kyle Allen had to get rid of that football, and Hawes took a big hit. It's second down.
Well, Jeff Rodgers is taking over a group with Ray Davis. There's Ray Davis gets the play fake. Ray Davis, an all-pro kickoff returner, and they're trying to see if Ray would be interested or good enough to do punts as well. If they can get a guy that do kicks and punts, it's an entire roster spot that they free up to use in another position. So that's a huge question coming into this game. But with Ray playing running back right here, probably not going to do too much kick returning today.
Allen in trouble, and he is sacked. It was Mike Hall who was chasing him on the previous play, and this time Hall is able to get him to the ground.
They're working against Jude Bowery right here. Gets a hard inside move and just comes clean. Bowery just got a little high and a little bit outside and took a little bit of a wide drop.
Brandon Beane told us yesterday that swing tackle position is open, and he was curious to see how Bowery would respond after it wasn't the best of debuts in the preseason opener for the rookie last week. 3rd and a mile for Kyle Allen, firing to the outside to Davis, slips one tackle but then taken down short of a first down. So Austin Corbett out there. So again, alternating drives with Alec Anderson at left guard.
Yeah, I hate to be a downer, but at least we get to see.
Yes, a punt.
Doman.
Joe Brady said really wanted to punt last week. It just never happened as this punting competition continues between Tommy Doman and Mitch Wishnowsky, and it'll be Doman to punt for the first time this summer in a preseason game for Buffalo.
I saw him in the pregame warm-up, and he had a couple that were unconscionably long. I couldn't believe how well he was hitting it. Oh, that's another one.
This one fielded at the 11 by Cole Wilson. A flag is down, and good coverage down the field by Buffalo. And a good punt by the rookie Doman.
And this is going to come back even further. This is going to be a hold on the Browns return team.
Holding. Receiving team number 83. After this the goal. First down.
So a good first punt of the preseason for Doman. We got 2 first-time head coaches going head-to-head today, and Joe Brady and Todd Monken, one of 10 new coaches around the NFL this year.
Yeah, it's a banner year for coaching changes. You get 3 that a lot of people didn't think, even at the end of the season, that might happen. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and of course in Buffalo, Sean McDermott. those three guys who seem to be entrenched in their jobs, all three went the other way and have been replaced. And that would, on a given year, usually you can count on a half a dozen coaching changes. But this year, with 10, it was a huge amount of turnover at the top of these teams in the NFL.
That was a 50-yard punt from Tommy Dolman, and after the penalty, the Browns will start this drive inside their own 10-yard line. Sanders on first down, and some pushback there by Javon Solomon, and that could be the final play of the lightning-interrupted first quarter, although the Browns going no huddle and getting to the line of scrimmage quickly with 20 seconds remaining. See if they snap it. And Javon Solomon jumped off sides. Not happy with himself after that. Third-year linebacker out of Troy. They restart the clock, and now that should bring an end to the first quarter. Well, earlier today, Buffalo Bills general manager Brandon Beane released this statement. On behalf of the entire Bills organization, we want to publicly express our condolences to Ed Oliver and his family. It's 7, back in the booth with Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan. We have a very special guest who's way too tall for this booth. There he is. John Fina, former Bills offensive lineman, joins us. Of course, his son Bruno is a rookie offensive lineman for the Bills. John, thanks so much for coming up to our little perch here in the corner of the end zone as we watch this second quarter begin. Phidarian Mathis with the tackle. And what's it been like for you? Obviously, you've still been around the organization all this time, but now with your son wearing that Bills jersey.
Well, if it's not special enough being a Bills legend like Steve Tasker to see your kid wearing the jersey that you wore on the field in Buffalo and now here in Cleveland, it's nothing short of exhilarating and surreal.
Can't imagine what that is like, and love what Bruno said about trying to continue the legacy of the name. In some ways, I can't imagine how special it is, but also there is some pressure for Bruno as well. How has he fared, and what have you seen from him throughout this training camp?
Well, Bruno and I are very different, and I've always said to him, your football career is completely separate from my life, right? You're on your own. You're doing this thing. You're a contract worker. You're going to make the best of it. He approaches the game very methodically. He puts in extra work. He goes on days when people aren't there. He gets extra work in the weight room and on the field. We've been snapping balls all over the city of Buffalo after practice, after training camp. He's working hard, and I'm just, wishing the best for him.
They are giving him an opportunity to expand. Was he a guard center? Was he a guard in college?
Tackle in
college. They moved him down to guard, and now they're giving him a chance to snap it as well to give him the best chance to make the team.
That's right. Well, with Connor McGovern on the sideline for who knows how long, they were a little thin at center, so instead of taking guard reps, he's exclusively center right now. I think he did well enough at guard that this work at center is really where he needs to improve.
Right.
Began at UCLA and then played his final 2 years with the Duke Blue Devils. Started at left tackle last year, and now showing off his versatility as he tries to make this Buffalo Bills roster or the practice squad. Certainly a guy that when you can show all that, it certainly helps your chances as we look at a 3rd down and 6 here for Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. Sanders swings it out to Sanders, makes one man miss, but cannot get away and pick up the first. It was Keontae Jenkins and Caleb Elarm-Zor coming over for the tackle, and Cleveland will punt.
What do you remember about your preseasons as a Buffalo Bill? I know they were just a minute ago.
Yeah, just a minute ago. When I was a rookie, I was stressed out of my mind, right? You never know when you're going to get in the game, and, the film never lies. Everything is under the microscope. So you really amp up when you're a rookie or you're a young guy trying to make a roster or put film out there, Steve, that other teams will look at, Andrew, and say, we want this kid here.
Well, we talked about Ray Davis getting a chance to return punts. He's back deep at his own 25-yard line. This one he will watch bounce and go out of bounds. John, hang in there. We're going to take a quick commercial. Come back with more. Buffalo and Cleveland tied at 7 here in the second quarter. At Highmark Stadium. What a moment and a thrill that must have been for you.
You know, it's an experience that just takes you back to your playing days. I tell people the sound reverberating to you on the field is far different than in the stands. I brought a friend down there. I said, "What'd you think?" And he said, "I'm still shaking."
Such a thrill as the Bills open up this drive with Kyle Allen remaining the quarterback and a handoff to Frank Gore Jr. up the middle. John, former first-round pick by the Bills in 1992, spent 10 years with the Buffalo organization. Some of the highlights of the old glory days with those beautiful helmets.
I don't know if I'm in for the helmet controversy, Andrew.
All right, we won't go there. And now his son Bruno, a rookie guard, also working at center on the team. As Sherfield goes in motion, play action to Gore Jr., right back to Sherfield.